Hey.
First, let me say that I have to say this.
Hey.
I am looking at a separate channel on YouTube on here, and we are, in fact, live.
Nice.
I'm going to close this window now because I have to look at. You can only look at Bart in so many windows at one time.
Right. You don't want to.
Without
You don't
getting
want to.
nauseous. Boy, did I pull a bonehead last week. I apologize to everybody. We did start on purpose this time, 15 minutes late. And I apologize for that, but it just made it easier for us to get together and have a discussion ahead of time for upcoming things, which we're going to talk about. And some of that's going to be the fact that after next week, our next two shows are going to be on holidays, or at least the day before Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So we've kind of been working out those details. With that being said, thanks for stopping by, Mike. We'll see you later. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Bart for a minute while I make some adjustments over here on something that I was going to present later. So, Bart, take it away and tell them some stuff you want to tell
them. Yeah. So, we were discussing, like Greg said, we're discussing what's coming up the next couple of weeks because we got the holidays and who's available, who's doing what, and so I think we're going to be good for running shows clean on through, and at least some of us will be there. Some of us know we can't make it, but I think it's going to be a good deal. I think it's going to be a good deal. But yeah, so what do you got going on, Poe? How's things up in your neck of the woods?
Good. I had a warm day yesterday, and now we're back to cold again. I'm wearing the Parappa the Rapper hat for the first time anywhere. Here for you guys.
Nice.
So keeping warm.
We got to do this then. We got to get Poe in there. Nice.
And just playing some video games.
Now, since we are going to air, I've discussed this. We've all discussed this. I know I can't be here, but the show must go on, and I'm not that important. But and Mike's going to do some checking. But I know I think we're all pretty much going to be here on New Year's Eve, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think Poe though has something very special planned for us New Year's Eve. You all know Poe likes his Milwaukee's Best, and he likes his just things that Poe likes, and I don't know. I think a night like New Year's Eve would be a night to see Poe at his best. So, Poe, do you have any thoughts on what you wanted to kind of tell people about your behavior on New Year's Eve usually? Or? I totally blindsided him with that bullshit. I just come up with this shit off the top of my head.
I was waiting to see where this story's headed before he figures out.
I'll be live, and at midnight, I'll be dropping the balls right here. I don't know what you want me to say right now.
That works. I just know that you're always good.
Just lost another 5 subscribers thanks to this show.
There's always some entertainment value in blindsiding you with something, Poe. You're pretty good at
just don't say you hate fighters. You'll be fine.
Right?
Love those fighters putting those bat sticks on right now as we speak.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably get some hate speaking of that, Poe, because my next arcade video, because I switched to the ball tops on my.
Oh yeah.
So now I'll be in trouble. But, yeah, I went rogue though. I put the black ball top on the side with the red buttons.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's fancy there. That's crazy stuff. Yeah, see, Farrell said it's 62 in New York yesterday. Here this morning, I sent you guys a picture. It was 19 degrees this morning. That's what Snapchat said. I think it got down to 17 out here at our house.
The temperature have been around here been so funny. And our house, the rear of the house, which is where the master bedroom is, faces the south. So it can be really cold out, but the way the sun hits the house, and I have to sleep in a cool room. So regardless of the temperature, usually about this time of night, just before I came down here, I open that bedroom window, believe it or not, because it's that hot in that room, just to cool it off, and then I'll close it before I go to bed. You can't leave it open all night, but it's just so weird. You can be, I don't know, keep it in the 60s around here, but you can go in that bedroom and with the windows, even with the drapes and everything, the way that sun hits that southwest corner of the house, it's damn near up to 80 degrees in that room, even when it's 40 degrees outside.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, it's 50 here. I think the high today here was like 56. So it was 81 here 2 days ago, 56 today.
That's it, guys. How's the weather where you're at? Put it in the comments, and we'll see you next week.
Right.
Mike lives in a part of the country with the same temperature every day, isn't it? I mean,
it's cold.
Yeah, but what do you guys call cold? What do you guys call cold up there? It's like people in Florida say, if it's 70 degrees, people in Florida are freezing their ass off.
Oh, I guess like 30 degrees. That's like considered really cold to us. I mean, if it's like around 51, it's still fine. I can still go outside. But yeah, 30, that's a bit cold for me. And I like the cold. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I like the cold.
Do you like Celsius or Fahrenheit? What do you use up there? You're so far up there, you're almost up there.
Fahrenheit.
I know the last trip I had to Canada, and I looked at the weather forecast, and they said the weather forecast tomorrow is going to be 30 degrees. I said, holy crap. Well, then I realized 30 degrees is like, what, 55? I don't know, maybe it's more than that. But when I first saw it, I thought, oh, God, it's going to be freezing. Big difference, big difference.
Yeah.
What are people saying in the chat?
Game Freak said it's in the 30s in his home state of Ohio.
Hey, Game Freak. I'm right next door in Pennsylvania. So, yeah, we're 30. 30 today. It was warmer yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I might as well say
here.
Dang it, Derek showed up. I mean, hey, Derek's here. Awesome.
Hey,
buddy.
Derek.
64 here.
Hey,
how you doing, my brother?
64 here. I didn't know you were that close. I didn't know you were just a couple years younger than me, Derek. 64. Oh, 64 degrees. But hey, there's no video. There's no tournament this week. It's a bye week. But that's another thing we talked about during our early pre-game conversation, pre-show conversation, is that we are going to continue the tournaments next week. And the Christmas Eve when we'll start, because everything starts on Sunday with us. And so we're running Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Eve, if in fact the tournament goes that far, which I predict, but you don't have to play Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. You'll still have your 5 days to play it, but you can figure on, except for this week, the tournaments will continue on. And I hope if Bart doesn't mind right now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you who the finalists were and who's moving on to the post-season tournament, the playoffs.
Sounds good.
And you can consider yourself better than the Kansas City Chiefs, because watching the way they're playing today, that shit ain't happening. These guys fell apart in the handbasket. Okay. Had to throw that in. If anybody from Kansas City is watching, that'll send me hate mail later, but I'm getting tired of it. Okay, Mr. Livewire, 713 ended up with 23 points. Remember, if you played every week, you got a point. There's 10 weeks, 10 points.
I missed a week.
If you played and placed, 4 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, and then of course the 1 for showing up. So Livewire 713, congratulations, you are our top scoring person, 23 points. Classic Rock King, 22. Balls a slapping, 19. G Gage, 16. Tony's Jogren, 15. Hollywood Polo, 12. Gregory, am I looking right? 9, 10. I didn't do that street very good. 10. Postal, 9. Cowboy Arizona, 8. 8. Pixelatorium, 8. Arcade Chaos, 7. And Mike CB's Gaming Headquarters, Mike CB, the Gaming Road Warrior, was 7. The list went on beyond that, but those 12 are in the finals. Am I right, Bart? Is that 12? Did I read all 12?
That should be. I wasn't counting. Chaos.
Yeah,
Was Chaos in there? Yeah.
Yeah, Chaos. And now there were myself, Bart, and Kelly were in the top 2, mixed in those numbers there. So I don't want to shortchange Kelly. But we, and my wife, she didn't play every week, so Cheryl, she was down there low. But we eliminated all those. And so these are the people that will go ahead. What we will do is we will start next week. We will post on the show, we will post the gameplay, and a password. It'll be different from what it is now. But we've decided it's going to be too much trouble to try to contact people individually and privately to give them the password. What if somebody gets missed? We don't have the contact information for everybody. We're just going to put the password out there. And then what's going to happen is the next week we will show the winners, and then we'll also list the list of people who can't follow instructions and play the game even though they're supposed to. But their scores won't count. So, anyway, so and what we're envisioning is next week there will be 2 tournaments set up, and you will be assigned. That's the other thing, though, that you're going to have to either get. And I'm going to ask this of Hollywood Polo right now here in the chat. I take it you know some of these people that don't necessarily aren't here in our chat tonight. That you can help me out here, Polo, in the chat. Now, there's some people on this list that that you can make sure they get, because they're going to have to know which tournament to play in too. So, because half the pack's going to play in a tournament that Bart sets up, half the pack's going to play in a tournament that I set up. Then we'll take the leaders from that and kind of bracket them into take the top ones from that, bracket them down. So we process of elimination to get to the top. Now that I've totally screwed that up, Bart, add anything that I missed or screwed up on it.
Yeah. No, I think you hit it pretty well. And I will reiterate, because Polo asked a couple times about, in case you didn't get, because Greg and I set this up, and there is a prize at the end. We didn't want it. So Greg and I are no longer in it. We don't play in the playoffs. So
you won't see our names. We will see our names on the leaderboard because we have to play one game to start it.
Yeah, we have to start it, but we won't be part of the tournament because that would be kind of cheesy if one of us won the tournament that we're running. And we also take our wives out of the, we just don't want anything happening. If someone that shouldn't win it wins it. So other than that, yeah, we'll basically split everyone. We'll split everything in 2 groups. Last tournament, what we did is we went like all the odd number people. So whoever Livewire was first, and then whoever second will be the top seed of the other one, and then third is over with. So it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 2, 4, 6, 8 will be in the 2 groups, and then maybe like the top 3 of each will be the next week, and then the winners will play each other, something like that. So it kind of narrows it down. Derek's saying we could put the passwords in Discord instead of public video, so all those non-cool kids in the internet don't try to join. Yeah, we could, but not everybody has our Discord, and we'd hate for somebody to not get in the tournament because they happen to not be in our Discord. We don't want to make that a mandatory thing that you have to join our Discord in order to play in the tournament. That's why we're not doing that, Derek. But
yeah, Derek. You're out, Derek.
if we knew everyone was already there at our Discord, yeah, we would do that, and people could just direct message us, and we could send them the passwords individually, so they know which one to go to and all that. But we don't have that option. So anyway, yeah, I think we pretty much got it out. Greg? Do you happen to have? I know you just read off the standings. I don't have anything in here. Do you know what the finals were on the last tournament? Who won the tournament?
This last week, week 10, 4 points. Yeah, it's easier for me just to look at your spreadsheet because I didn't do a video on it, right? But let's look. 4 points this week went to G Gage. Got 4 points, so he was the first place winner. Looks like you got week 10 scores that says 30. Is that 30 million? Is that how you do that?
I just went with millions.
Right. Okay. Then Balls of Slapping came in next in second place with looks like 17 million. Livewire came in third place with 16 million. So 30 million, 17 million, and 16 million in that order. And it was G Gage, Balls of Slapping, and Livewire first, second, and third.
There you go. I did put a couple. I noticed. I think it was. I can't remember who it was. There was somebody that I was just like 100,000 points below him, and Poe was in the middle between us. Poe was ahead of me by like 50,000 points, and behind that other guy by 50,000. They were really close, within 100,000 for three of us. I thought that was pretty. Mike was up there too. Mike, you beat all of us. I don't know, but yeah, I forget who that was, but I noticed me and Poe and that other guy were really close together.
Mike Steeby's. I'm looking at the spreadsheet. Mike Steeby's got 7 million. And yeah, he did he fared pretty good in the pack there, actually. And then it's just interesting to go down this list, though. I realize Bart does such a great job with this spreadsheet. And it's funny, though. It's funny if you can see it. It's too small to show the print on the screen here, but like you get to Postile, there's a place for notes. And it says Postile's score each week that he played. And then over in the comments, it just says loser. So, I mean, Bart knows how to put together the
That's my nickname.
Accurate information. But wait a second. I forgot. Oh, my God. You think that's bad? Pixeltorium Derek comments, biggest loser.
Now it's going to go to his head because at least he's biggest at something. Number one loser.
Remember, winners are only losers that win.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, at least he's on top for once. He's number one. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. So next week, we'll have we'll announce who's in which bracket and which tournament you're going to need to get into. And yeah, hopefully people get into the right room and the right thing and they play the right people. And then we'll go from there. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be fun.
We've done it. We're kind of half. I mean, we're serious about how we're going to do it, but we've done it this way before. And I mean, I really want people to try to pay attention to it right. But we had somebody one time jump in the wrong one. Well, you know what? We're going to take your score either way. I mean, this is not. I mean, to quote the Austin Powers movie, the prize is not $1 billion. I mean, it's not.
Right.
That's substantial.
Yeah, and we'll probably, because we didn't really get a chance to talk about, we've been kind of busy this week, so we will announce next week also what the tables will be for the tournament, and what the rule sets will be. Greg and I will talk about that during the week. So next Sunday we can say, okay, this week it's going to be this table and this many balls or whatever. And so we'll announce all that next week as we roll.
We pretty much come to consensus. I think it's safe to say that Tesla and Fishtails are at the top of the list.
It's not the good list. Yeah. Well, I had to hold back. Someone on Discord was saying something about Fishtails, and they were having some issues. And I wanted so bad to say, well, the first problem was you chose Fishtails when you started playing pinball. But I didn't. I held my tongue because I'm not a big fan of the Fishtail. Drain Tails, as Mike named it.
But while we're on the topic of pinball, I got a statement and a question. I got a question for Bart because he seems to be ahead of the technology on this stuff right now. But I'm happy to see that Pinball M is got its back glass up to where you can make the adjustments on your screen without having to go into that INI file, and that you can make all that, and that it holds, that it remembers.
It remembers now.
But with
and
that,
you can play tournaments in cabinet mode.
But what about Pinball FX? I didn't get it. I know it's got the adjustments, but will it remember it, and will it work in tournaments? Will Pinball FX? It will.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if they made the newer one work better than the one that's been out, I'd have to question their sanity.
Yeah. No. It works the same way. Basically, they work the same way now, and Pinball M is working the way Pinball FX has been working for a while. So yeah, it remembers your settings. It automatically loads into cabinet mode, and it's the little graphic thing where you click on your back glass and it puts the glowy thing around it, and you can move it around by clicking on the arrows and resize it. And it's a really good deal. Yeah. Oh, look, Derek's watching Digital Victory, and Digital Victory was giving me some credits because he didn't know them. He didn't know the Star Trek tables came out till he saw my video, Digital Victory, and he mentioned. So that.
Well, I still got to do Greg bitches corner, so I'll just take care of that right now. I'm still going to bitch about something. Yeah, they fixed all that, but this is just another smart thing where they're going to release Charlie Brown's Christmas on the Nintendo Switch on the 28th of December. Christmas is over, dumbass.
Yeah. As much as I'm looking forward to getting Pinball M on the Switch, if I was Zen Studios, I would have every person who works on pinball tables working on Charlie Brown Christmas and getting that thing out this week. Like, everything else can wait. Charlie Brown Christmas. This to me is even a bigger blunder than Pinball M not making Halloween, because at least they can go with, well, it's not necessarily a Halloween theme. We have Duke Nukem and we have some, but Charlie Brown Christmas is Charlie Brown Christmas.
It's Zen Studios. Hello. No, it's true. No, it's true. I didn't say that. Off Grid Arcade did. If you got a problem with that, you want his number? I'll give you his number.
Give me a call.
1207-650-4470. Okay. Yeah, call him because I'm done with it.
8675309.
Anybody that calls that number thinking I just gave out Off Grid's number, I don't know who you're going to get. That poor bastard's going to be pissed. That ain't it.
Yeah. But I would be having everyone at Zen working on that Charlie Brown Christmas thing. We got to get that out immediately, and everything else can wait. Because that's pretty sad if they don't get that one out before Christmas.
And I don't think they're going to. I mean, I really don't. But I will say one thing. The Switch I know is behind, but I will say one thing. I do absolutely love playing that game on Pinball FX. It's just the call outs, everything about it is just, it makes you, I love it. I love that game. And as much as I didn't think I would, on Pinball M, Chucky's my favorite. I mean, I know everybody's got their own, and some of y'all really like the Bart's doing a tournament right now on the thing, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's a great storyline, but I'll tell you what, the Chucky, the call outs, everything about it just cracks me up. I love it.
Yeah. I still say the same thing I said when they first came out. The Thing is my favorite theme of the tables, but Chucky's my favorite table to play. I enjoy that Chucky table a lot. But Poe, I'll throw this one to you because I don't know. While we're talking about Pinball M, because we were talking about the corners, and I guess when I made my Thing tournament, people will play in my corner. I was watching Crow, the Crow Continuum, and he's really good at pinball. In case you didn't know, man, his scores are ridiculous. If you go through the what do they call it? It's like the career type of mode. Oh shoot, I can't think of what it's. That word is leaving my brain right now. Where you, I don't know. Where you do different challenges and it's like a career mode almost. You win things for your corner, and Crow's corners are just crazy because he's unlocked like everything.
Oh, that's cool.
The little things that we've been looking at to put in the corner is just scratching the surface.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See, I haven't even figured that stuff out yet on Pinball M.
Campaign
I haven't even researched that.
Yeah. Derek, I'm doing another tournament. You haven't watched my vids on I know. You don't even have to watch the video. Here's a spoiler for you guys. You don't even have to watch the video. My code for my thing and the password's always OGA, but the code is right on my thumbnail. You don't even have to watch the video, you lazy bastard.
Yeah. I didn't. I admit, I saw that. And I said, why would I want to watch him play? I'd rather play myself. But he gave me the username and password.
Right. Yeah. I call Derek a lazy bastard, but the reason it's on my thumbnail is because I'm too lazy and I just let YouTube choose a frame, and that's the thumbnail I go with. I don't even pick it. And it had the code up there. I'm like, I'll leave it. But it worked well because, what I say, it's me, Poe, and Greg are the only ones in it right now, and that's the order that we're in. Me, Poe, Greg.
Well, in your tournament, I think it is. It's Poe second and yours?
I don't remember. Is it mine or yours that Poe second?
Well, I've got one going too with Charlie Brown's Christmas, and it's one of them is Bart's first in both of them, and then the other one just invert me and Poe. One of them I'm second.
I can't remember which is which now. It's me, Poe, Greg in one, and me, Greg, Poe in the other.
See, because he didn't even care. He doesn't care about us, Poe. He doesn't care. He's those other two guys are below me. That's all I care about.
That's all. You only need to look at the number one spot. Mike hasn't got in yet, so Mike might jump in there here shortly. It'll
Monday.
be Mike,
I will jump in. Yep.
And
I will join Monday. I can buy.
Let's turn it over to Mike for a minute because I do have some other things I want to discuss real quick, but I want to make sure it gets passed around. And since we're doing that, Mike had produced a video for tonight's show, so I'm going to kind of get back over to where that launch pad is for that. And Mike, if nobody cares, let me, Mike, if you want to tell us anything, take the show for a little bit, talk about anything you want, or introduce your video, whatever you want to do.
Sure. I can talk about something real quick. See, Looney Tunes pinball table. I saw the trailer on that, and that looks amazing. Especially has the sounds from the show you grew up with, and it's not the new show; it's the classic, the better version. But yeah, immediately when I saw that table, like, oh, I want to play that. And then Bart was telling me too that was from the guys that made the Scooby Doo table, right, Bart?
Yeah,
it was from Spooky Pinball. Yep. So that looks cool to play. I want to try that game. But besides that, the video that I'm going to be showing is a famous, I think it was in the 90s. It's a shooting game at the arcade. When you see it, you'll know it. I'm not going to give spoilers because Derek doesn't like spoilers, so I'll just save that. When you see it, then I do have a question for you guys after the video is done. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, I am going to show. Is this week 33? Did I mention that?
Yes.
See, I put the episodes down by name by week so that I know which button to hit, but then I forgot which week it is. Here we go. Pay attention to Mike, everybody.
Aloha, everyone. Mike, the Gaming Road Warrior here, and today we are going to be playing Terminator, the arcade game. All right, let's start.
It's Judgment Day.
This is a favorite when I had played this on the arcade machine before.
Way to go.
It uses light guns, but for today I'm playing it on a mouse and keyboard. Using mostly the mouse. It's a lot easier. I know you can also play it on controller as well, so you want to kind of collect these. You've got your bombs. That. Ammo. Try not to shoot the resistance. These guys here. They will die. You usually try to aim for their heads, the 800s. And those things always refill up, so that is... Oh! You gotta be careful playing it. If you get the mouse out, it'll disturb the gameplay. Nice. Nice. There was always a part on this that was really hard. The van stage where you're driving the SWAT van, and you're trying to protect it, so you would have to shoot from the left-hand screen or the top, otherwise the T-1000 would crash the helicopter on the SWAT van. That one was a hard level.
Let's go.
Nice. Like getting rid of those. These things are a pain. Go away. Nice. Hasta la vista, baby. Whoa. Get rid of the bombs. Hey, stop! 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 Go! Awesome.
Reloaded. Terminated.
Oh!
Let's go.
There are a lot of Terminators. 3 minutes. Yeah, we should be able to make it to the bad guy here, the boss. Always shoot these. Upgrade your gun.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nice. Get rid of the wall so you can see what you're shooting at. Terminators are hiding behind her. Oh. Sorry. See, killed that guy by accident. Oh! We got 5 minutes. Let's go. Nice. See this? This is the more powerful gun. Nice. Oh! Yes! Almost there. Oh, shield! Okay, that's what it was. Nice. Little break. I like it's got Arnold's voice on it. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, they got different types of T-800s, like these gold ones. Oh, 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 come on. Oh.
Excellent. Let's go.
Okay, here's the boss. Oh. So, you want to shoot the guns. I'm just spamming the rocket button. Come on. Die. Nice. Whoa!
No problemo.
Sorry.
Terminated.
What?
Let's go. Terminated.
Wow. Where are we at? 7 minutes.
Way to go.
Whew. Right, we're gonna play a little bit on the next level. See how far we get. Yep.
Terminator.
Shot one guy. Oops. Cool. Ah, the Terminators that look like Arnold Schwarzenegger now. Try not to hit your guys or the dog. Why did you get in the way? 9 minutes.
Above you.
Alright, I'm gonna have to end it here. It's past 10 minutes. So, what do I think of this game? It's still fun to play, but it is really hard. So it is a quarter muncher, but it's, you know, definitely your time to play it. You can play it online.
Reloaded.
Or if you get that arcade 1-up machine, you can play it there as well. Or if you want to, be like me and buy the actual cabinet and have it at your house. If this was like your favorite game back in the day. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having this one either. This is a pretty cool game. Alright, everyone. Keep playing it. Alright, take care. Remember, gaming is your road to adventure. Bye, folks.
Very
Hey, good job.
Nice.
No Club Grimlow.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys something. What was your favorite shooter game back in the day in the arcades?
Oh, that's a good question. That one was fun. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll go really old school. I like that crossbow game.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
remember that
love
one.
That game. Yeah, that was a fun little
Yep.
game. I mean, graphically, it was kind of, but it was kind of spooky themed, and you're shooting witches and zombies and all that. And
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Little goblin guys coming out. But so I'm going to go with that one.
Cool.
We played a lot of Operation Wolf, but we played a lot of Area 51 too. So, and we played a lot of Terminator 2. So,
Yeah.
probably Operation Wolf.
Yeah. Operation Wolf
nice.
is a great game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have to be honest, for me, for arcade games, I just never was big on any of the shooter games. I was more of a Galaga, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and one that we did the other day, Centipede. I always relate back to the movie theater that was down the street. It was within walking distance to our house. And when I was a teenager, I knew one of the kids that was an usher down there, and he'd sneak out back to have a cigarette while a show was going. We'd put a brick by the door, and we knew that we could sneak in through that back door and get ourselves up to the lobby, and then we could go into any movie we wanted. But we'd go up into the lobby and play video games, and the ones I remember were Pac-Man, Galaga, the ones I mentioned before. So not big of a shooter guy on those.
Greg was already 62 when that one came out.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
He went on a horse and buggy. His was when we had to shoot the water and fill up the balloon. That was his favorite shooter.
You're exactly right. Or the gun that you cocked that had the cork that went in the end, and it had a string on it.
Yeah.
I'd love to have one of those. That just made me think of those. I'd love to have one.
Mike, I got to thank you for doing that video because, of course, the people that were watching the video couldn't see it. I don't know if you guys saw it in the green room, but I got up during your video and I ran into the house. Well, I didn't run into the house because I forgot to turn the outside light on. I was afraid I was going to fall in the water bucket for the dog and all. So I tiptoed to the house and I went in there. And so I was watching it on the TV because Kelly's in the house watching our show. So I was watching it in there while Kelly was asking me questions about it. And I said, I'm sure Poe and I will talk about getting the Sinden light guns so we can play this game on the iArcade. And Kelly said,
Oh, nice.
I'll play this one with you. So 2 Sinden guns it is.
Nice.
I got the official
Yeah.
approval. I'll be buying 2 Sinden guns.
Man, I could have afforded one if I hadn't bought that members only Atari jacket.
Right. Yeah, I did kind of warn her those Sinden guns aren't cheap, but yeah. Now, and that was cool though that you were able to play with the mouse.
Yeah.
Much easier than trying to use a thumbstick on a Xbox
Oh,
controller.
yeah.
And
I tried the Xbox controller. It's a lot harder. So I'll do the mouse, and that was a lot easier. Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And you got some shooting guns out of that deal, Bart. That works.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful when your wife enjoys it too. And again, my wife loves the pinball, but she's not big on this other stuff. But she's funny about things that are cute. I don't know, and I don't know what her
She
thought
picked
is.
you anyway.
I know that's what I think.
I get the little dog, but I don't know where you came in, Greg.
That's the point. She considers me cute, so anything beyond that is easy. But we were out today, and I don't know. We bought. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but I've seen these on Facebook on the Switch site and stuff. These little things you can get to put on your Switch that are like make them a little bigger, more rubberized, easier to grab. hold of. It came with
Yeah.
a set of all different, and they work on the OLED and this one. And it just struck me funny because I said, "Oh, I've been looking for those." She goes, "Well, those are kind of cute." Okay, well, go ahead and grab them. It was funny too. They, believe it or not, $15 for a set of 4 of these, which I got both units. So there's one for each of these and the Pro controllers. But they got up to $15 that set on it, and when I got done paying with tax, it was 10 something. So they must have been on clearance, or the cashier was on drugs. I don't know. I don't care. I didn't question him. I just said,
Well, it's funny. I got a little story to go with the light gun games and stuff, and Kelly saying she would play that with us. And I might have told this story. I think probably you guys might have heard it before, but I don't think I said it on the show. We went to the arcade in El Paso mainly because I wanted to play pinball, and we went over and they had a sit-down light gun game. You sat down in there, you're shooting zombies or whatever you're shooting. I can't remember. And on Kelly's side, it didn't take the coins. We put in 4 tokens or whatever to start it, and it wouldn't start. But you could put them all in my side, and we could both play. And then I mentioned to the guy that works there, of course, well, I'll finish this part. I mentioned it to the guy just in passing. I'm like, you might want to put an out of order sign over there. I'm not looking to get our 4 tokens back, but so people know not to put. So he come over there, and he looked at it, and he gave us a shit ton of tokens. He put a bunch of tokens in there so we could play, and then he gave us a bunch, and then he was taking tokens out of the machine next to us and left a mound of tokens. He's like, here you guys go. So we had all of these tokens, and Kelly's one of these people that she's like, I had to like twist her arm to get her in there, but boy, once she got in there, she's feeding that thing tokens more, just she just goes at it, you know. So I knew she would like that, the idea of playing that with light guns. But yeah, we had so many tokens. We took home probably $10 worth that we still have here, and I gave a shit ton of them. There were some college kids playing pool on 2 pool tables, and I just walked by and I put a stack of tokens on each of the 2 pool tables. Said, "Have fun, guys." And they're like, "Oh, you're so cool." I said, "Nah, they're not mine. They gave them to me for free, but I'm just passing them along." But, yeah, they gave us a ton of tokens. So that was cool, though. But anyway, Game Freak's talking about the
nice.
Split Pad Pro for the Switch. The analogs and buttons are a tad bigger and way more comfortable.
I have that, and also, well, since somebody brought that up, let's see, Game Freak brought that up. Does anybody out there have? This is my next look at, and I hope I can find it. Oh, here it is. Came right up because the Nitro deck. Does anybody have any information on the Nitro deck? I've been reading mixed reviews. And are you aware of what that is? Any of you aware of the Nitro deck?
Derek?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Bart, Mike, are you? Oh.
I have no idea.
Well, what it is,
No.
He just put up what who was that just put up that the split what?
Oh, Game Freak?
Yeah, but okay, the Split Pad Pro, I've got that. But then he just put something else up. I thought I'm not on the chat. I'm not the thing to launch other stuff. So sorry, I'll go back to it.
Then he said something about Area 51.
Oh, good game.
Yeah.
The
I got
Nitro.
that one.
Derek said.
Yeah,
Derek
Derek
knows
would
about
know.
it.
Yeah, he should know about that.
What the Nitro deck is, it's basically controller. You have to set your Switch up to use a wired Pro controller. A lot of people don't know that. If you want to use a wired controller, you have to tell the deck. The people were complaining they had trouble with it. But what it does is it's basically a U shape. You take your Joy-Cons off, and what it is it fits up over here, but also along the bottom, and it has a thing that goes up into your USB-C here. I'm sorry, I wasn't holding that up high enough. But anyway, and it's a bigger controller that has wired controllers on it. It's only like $60. And yeah, it looks for sure it's a high-end grip. Slide your switch into it. Yeah, lots of good. Yeah, I read some reviews, something about the buttons are too clicky, but I don't know what's wrong with a button that clicks. I thought that's what buttons are supposed to do. I don't know. Anyway, I'm looking at that because people have asked me. I'm kind of hard to buy for them. People have asked me, "What would you like for Christmas?" You know, it's not too high a price. I've been putting that out, but I'd like to have that Nitro deck. So
That's cool.
my kids. So if any of your kids are watching, get me. And the other thing that's cool is, from what I've read, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, it works for both the OLED and the regular Switch. So because it's just got a little button you push that it's like a millimeter difference. You know, and I think it slides a filler piece in and out. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't mind, I'm going to go into my next. I was going to do a little Switch segment. I want to update everybody, and I won't go on about this too long. I want to update everybody since I talked last week. You know, I had a little conflict with. I'll just tell you the story on this. This is the old Switch that I've had for 2 years, almost 2 years. It's got a little problem. Now, it's not a problem that I can't live with, but it's if you pull it out of the docking station, it doesn't always want to come back on like it's supposed to if it's been in sleep mode. So what you have to do is, if you just push and hold down the power button for like 10 seconds, it just reboots it and it works fine. But that's still something wrong with it. And I think I told you guys I paid $50 for the 2-year warranty, and I have the paperwork on it still. The warranty card that said 2 years, new replacement, new, not used, refurbished, new. That's how the guy taught me into it. He told me when I went in there, I think I've already told you the story, they don't honor that anymore because they changed their policy. Argument went back and forth of, okay, going forward, somebody that buys it, blah, blah, blah. He said, no. So I called customer service. I'm talking to a guy and it says, no. Then I said, let me talk to a higher up. Well, I find out he's just a guy working for a service that they hire. So I called corporate headquarters and talked to somebody in human resources. And they said that they would get somebody to call me from real customer service. A guy called me. I'll make this short. I told him the whole story. He said, I sympathize with you. Usually and I agree that that's bad pool. At that point, usually you get a guy that says, I noticed that you bought a lot of stuff. You're a pro member. You have been for quite a while. Your son's a pro. What can I do to keep your business? That's what you'd expect to hear. What I heard him say is, I said, so since you understand and agree with me, you're going to work with me on this, right? I said, if anything, I'd like to have my $50 back for the extended warranty. I don't think that's asking for too much. You're not giving me a new Switch. Give me the warranty back. He says, well, I can't do that. I said, well, then what are you going to do for me? He said, I'm sorry, sir, nothing. I said, do you mean to tell me if I tell you me, my family, or none of my friends are ever going to come in your store again, ever, because of this one deal, that you agree with me I'm right, you're going to tell me, sorry, sir, there's nothing you can do about it? And he's, sorry, sir. End the conversation. I said, so I might as well hang up right now. And he says, well, if you don't, I will.
Wow.
So there's your GameStop story of the week. Now, with that being said, let's talk about some cool things with this. I did find out, since I'm going to keep this, because I don't want to pawn it off and sell it to somebody it's possibly something's on the way south with this thing. So I just decided I'm going to keep it. And I wanted the OLED because I just, I've heard things that the new Switch is not going to have OLED. But here's a cool thing I found out about this. When I first swapped these over, I did a swap. Mike sent me a video on how to swap these over. And there's an option where you can keep the stuff on both of them. Well, when I first did that, I went to the new Switch and I said, okay, I'm going to play. And then I thought, hey, I'm going to let Cheryl play with her name. I put her username and account on it. like you do on all these, and let her play. Wouldn't let her do it. I said, whoa, no, that's the whole beauty. You know, we've talked about this on this show before. That's the problem with Steam and Epic. You know, with a Switch, you can have 4 or 5 people play on this. I agree with you, Chaos. Give it up, brother. There are the people. Yeah, that's right. So I found out, I researched that, and I found out the simple fix. That was on the new one. This one's listed as the primary one. You have to go on Nintendo and turn this one off and turn that one on. Now that one will work with any extra user I got on a game. So then you come back to this one, though, and hand it to Cheryl, and it won't work. It only works on the one that's your primary. The advantage is you can switch back as many times as you want. You just got to go tell it to not be the primary or to be the primary. Well, the worst thing is if you go out of town and you want to take one Switch and play between the two of you, you better tell the other one not to be the primary because it automatically switches to the other one too. That's the beauty. When you turn the other one off, it turns the other one on. Now, with that being said, the Unknown Gamer was here tonight, so we tried to experiment with it. You cannot play 2 games at the same time with both the Switches on under my account. But if you log into this one, which is now not the primary, and will only run me as Greg, and log into the other one, which will allow other accounts on it, and Travis, I put him on my other one, you can both play FX3 Pinball and a bunch of the games at the same time on both units. You can sit right next to each other. So there's a little bit of information about the Switch that a lot of people may not know. One has to be the primary. If you're on 2, one has to be the secondary. And you can play 2 games at the same time if you've got multiple accounts set up on your primary Switch. That's it. That's Greg's Corner on Nintendo Switch. I got my bitch session in, and I got to tell you a little something about the Switch that's kind of cool. And if you want to have 2 and you can, I don't know, I think it's cool. Not only can we play now, Cheryl and I can play with ones on our lap, but I've got one now set up on the docking station on the TV behind the bar, and I got one set up on the entertainment center at the other end of the game room. So we got Switches all the way around the room, so it's kind of cool. So,
Nice.
good times. Good times. That's it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Oh, and earlier I did say that the prize for the tournament is
$100 billion.
Copyright.
it was only on for 6 seconds. Am I okay, Mike?
You're okay.
All right. Poe, did you have anything in particular you wanted to talk about tonight? You've been quiet.
Not until Mike starts doing his thing at the end. Then I'll butt right in there and start
Okay. You're saving it for Mike's final thought.
Final
Check
thoughts.
Check out my video that I did earlier for Mike's Gaming Gala. He's up for YouTuber of the Year. So check out, I have a link in my description of that video to go vote for him for YouTuber of the Year. So do that because Mike is a really cool dude. I met him when he kicked my ass back in June for YouTuber of the Month. And who would have thought it? Made a good friend out of him. And so, yeah, do that.
Nice. Yeah, I saw your video. I'll have to go do that.
Is that Mike's Gaming Gala, Gala?
Yes.
Okay, hang on a second. Here's a copy, and we'll come over here, and we will put that in the chat. At least if you're watching in an area where you can see it in the chat from me, there it is in the chat. I think. Oh, so there's a little plug for Mike.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, and he was in our chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but he was here earlier. So
Yeah, he has a great channel. He does a lot of home brews for the older, cooler systems like in television and the Atari 2600 and ColecoVision and stuff like that. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Good
Cool.
deal. Good deal.
It's probably not as good as your channel, though, is it? Though?
Well, there's two different things altogether. And
Oh, that's
I have to make the joke because whenever Bliss contacted me and, he nominated me and that's how I met Mike. He nominated Mike. And they talked about to me too, how they got X amount of subscribers just from being nominated and stuff. So in my video, I say, I say, when I got nominated, I had just under 400 subscribers. And after that, I had just under 400 subscribers. They got a nice little boost from that. I'm like, yeah. The boost didn't happen for me, but I'm glad it worked out for those guys anyway. So
it worked for me. It worked for me because I told people about you, and I got subscribers. Just mention you.
Nice. So, Poe, I'm going to ask you this. Since Greg threw you on the spot, I'm going to throw you on the spot too. So I did the Centipede tournament thing, and then Mike ran with the Joust that I played, and then Mike said, let's do a tournament out of this. So what are we playing next as our little retro game tournament?
ooh,
It's your turn to pick a game.
I'll have to get on the arcade and go down through and look, and let's see what we can play. I thought about Kickman. I plan on making a video of that and the Atari 2600 version at some point. So, but that might not be something that everybody here can get a hold of. So, I'll have to talk with you guys and see what everybody can play.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. I've got a pretty good collection, but every now and then you throw out a title, and I go like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
I know. I got. If I was to do one, I know what I'd do it on because I think it'd be pretty good. And I don't think I'm any good at it, but I think one that comes to mind that I can't imagine us all not having is Frogger. I don't know why. I just think Frogger's another one that I can recall from.
I think that Frogger, I tried to load that a few times, and it's one of those ones for some reason vanished on my arcade. When I try to load it, it says it's there, and it's like not there for some reason.
Yeah, I think
That happened. Remember that happened with Popeye for me too. Remember it vanished. It said it was there and it wasn't until you sent me a ROM for it and then it showed up. So I don't know why that is, but I think Frogger is one of the ones that it does that too. It says it's there and it's not.
That's it. You heard it right here, everybody. Get rid of those arcades quick. Dump them. Oh my God. Oh, they're going out of business. Did you hear? They don't get Frogger.
I'll see if mine works, Poe, and if it does, I'll send it to you and see if that'll. But I'm pretty sure I have a working Frogger on mine. Mike, do you have a way to play Frogger?
Yeah, I can play Frogger on both my 1943 or my Street Fighter cabinet, so they work.
Maybe we'll go with that while Poe figures out a game. We can do I'll if we can get one working on Poe's iArcade. I'll try to get Poe the working ROM. And
Yeah, I could play it. I could play it on the 2600 or the 5200 or the ColecoVision if you want.
Don't you have that arcade stick with the games on it?
Oh,
Remember
I remember. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, I know it's got Logger on it.
All I know is, Mike,
That's the one. We're playing Logger.
if you want to participate, Mike, you have got to do a video. And the only reason I didn't call foul on your video that you did submit is I thought, well, that's not his face on there. But if you look close, your son was filming that. I could see your reflection in the glass of the screen. And I said, okay, he's redeemed. But I thought, man, for all I know, that could be his wife playing. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a deep fake.
He superimposed his image on the.
But I'll tell you what, you guys doing that has got me interested in pulling up my Raspberry Pi and pulling up my at games legends because I get so wrapped up. We all get wrapped up in this our 3D headsets, our Oculuses and our pinballs and our Switches and all the great games that we've all had fun doing. But I'll tell you what, it's fun to go back. I mean, I totally sucked at that last game, that Joust. My God. And that's a question I had for you, Poe. What do you got that makes which one of you two, maybe it was Mike, I think it was you, Poe. What made you flap those wings so fast? I couldn't get that bird to fly up that fast. You were pushing that button, that blade.
There's lots of practice with my right hand. Oh yeah. I play Joust a lot, and not the arcade version.
Right.
No, but I was watching your video and I said, "My God, he's getting that bird to just." But I'll tell you, that game is so fun because when when you change directions and he slides, just hearing that screeching tire sound and
just the sounds of that whole arcade game brought a lot back for me. Whenever I booted that up, the sounds of it coming on and everything. And my excuse was I hadn't played the arcade game in a long time. And we uploaded ours around the same time. So I didn't see yours right around the same time. I think ours came up.
It was just a freak thing because I thought,
right.
And then I said, I wonder how Poe's going to even do it. And then I said, oh, shit, he's got one up now, too.
Well, then I watched yours, and you said you didn't think you ever played before. So you did a great job for never playing, So, yeah, watching yours, I was like, oh, I thought I had an excuse because I've only played like the 2600 and 7800 version. You hadn't played in since the thing came out years ago. So
yeah, I had no vivid memories of playing it, but after I played it a little bit and heard him screeching, I said, God, somehow I do remember these having to hit a guy high and do it, and you were flying. I remembered something, but hell, I can't. I'm lucky to remember your guys' name week to week. So what the hell?
That game, they had it, the arcade version on the PS3 Arcade Archives. You could play it online. So my older brother and I both bought it. And this was back when I was doing shift work. He's always been a steady evening turn. So I talked him into buying it. And I remember we were playing this one morning. But with that game on the PS3, you couldn't talk to each other on a headset for whatever reason. They didn't have it so you could do that. So I'm playing with my brother, but we're not talking. And he used to get so mad back in the day when we would play 2-player games and I would kill him or something. Now, we're already adults by this point, like early 40s or late 30s, and I'm like killing him in the game. And I'm thinking, I know for a fact, even though we're not kids anymore, he's at home so pissed right now. He wants to beat the living tar out of me. I know he's so freaking. And just playing this game and thinking back to when we played it on the PS3, I just started laughing all over again. I'm like, oh. Yeah. If I had any hair in my head, he would rip it right out of my head like he did when we were kids. And that's probably why I'm bald now. There's so many games on the Atari and the NES that he would the controller was down and he was beating the tar out of me like Wayne and Kevin on the Wonder Years.
Mike, what was your score? And for anyone that doesn't know, Mike won our little of the four of us. Mike whooped us. What was your score? 43,000 something.
Yeah,
like
I think it was 43, something like that. Yeah.
Because I came out here the other day and I got on this because it had the Mortal Kombat has Joust on there, so I jumped on there to see, and my high score on there is 40,000. Like 700. So I didn't even beat you in a non-tournament. You beat my high score ever, I think, because that's probably the highest score I ever got. What's on there right now? But I can't catch that 43.
You asked too about what to do in the future. One thing I will say, and I need to bring that in here and plug it in because it has to have power. This guy in the bot right below me here comes to my house. It sits down at my bar and proceeds to get on my barcade and play my Galaga game and permanently embed his name into the screen of my high scores for Galaga. Yeah. That'd be another good game to run.
Yeah. You're right. It was your house in your arcade on your machine on your bar with my initials.
Yeah.
That's correct. So,
and it was Kelly. Kelly had the high score on my pinball machine until they did a factory update for the firmware software, and it dumped off. Just so you won't think there's any foul there. I took that high score when it zeroed out. But then the unknown gamer came over to watch the game today and had dinner with us before the show. And he said, let me take a stab at that. And he knocked me off. So he's on that.
This just in. There's going to be a new update next week.
yeah.
You know,
Sorry,
I think
unknown gamer, they wiped your name off.
They're back again.
but at least we know that he was here. It wasn't like some phony video made of some guy playing joust saying, "Oh, look here, I won. I got a cat." and I'm sorry, my cat.
You know, of all people, Greg, that's just low. It's okay to make fun of Derek for sure, and then make fun of you, me, and Bart. But you never make fun of Mike unless it's a My Little Pony joke. I mean, Mike's just the purest soul here. We don't make fun of Mike.
It is true, but I think he should be still part of the gang here. And let's face it, come on, it's Mike.
Okay, Mike, you suck.
I mean, the same guy that every time just before we start the show, he starts to sing, "In the Navy, you can sail with us," and then he just quits before the show comes.
Mike, you want to hear something sad? Before I played this, I got on my iArcade and I was playing joust because I'm like, I'm going to beat Mike's score. I'm going to do it. And when I shot my video, I was thinking if I can make it through that egg wave, I got a chance because I think you ended on the following screen. And I got on my iArcade and I'm playing. And not only did I make it through the egg screen, I got every one of the eggs before they hatched. I was like on fire. Oh. And I didn't even beat my own score from the tournament. I'm like, how did I get to the next level and I still got less points? So I'm like, I can't beat Mike at this.
I hate that at a pinball tournament. I get a high score on, and Mike come in like, well, when I start the tournaments, especially, I think, wow, that was a really decent score, but I can beat that. And other people play and they're blowing me away. And then I get back on and play as it's like a mental block of I can't even beat the score I had the first time. It's like,
yeah, it's true. Yeah, I have many of those pinball tournaments where my first game is my best game, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And yeah, it gets bad. Bo had enough. He's out of here. He's like, I'm done talking about Jeff.
While Po's gone, let's talk about something else that's fun. The American Truck Simulator. I've been recording videos. I just haven't had a chance to edit and release them. But I'm pretty close to halfway through the Kansas events. I've noticed you've been putting some up, Bart, but I haven't really kept track of where you're at. Are you still working on Kansas?
Yeah, I've only completed 4 because freaking Zen Pinball started throwing out pinball machines like crazy. So I got off of driving, and I don't even have a video for tomorrow.
I think that's where I'm at. I think I'm at 4. I'm getting ready to start. Now I did what I did was it updated the DLC. Same thing. I never usually stop in the middle of a job.
Right.
But what I did was, so I was done with the job. But if you update your DLC, it does take and stop a job that you're in, and then make you pick a location. Well, Derek and I had taken off halfway across the country the other direction in a convoy when I was working my way toward Kansas. But we found it was convenient for us, and Derek and I did. In defense of Derek, hello, Derek. We had a good time. We had a nice trip. I told Derek, let's drive like real people and not hit things. So I think he only hit me once. I don't know. No, I don't think he hit me. Matter of fact, I think I was the one that hit somebody, but we did it live and it was fun. But I was way out of place, so I just put myself in Kansas City, Kansas. And it was kind of interesting for those of you that didn't watch my first video in Kansas City, Kansas. I noticed Bart mentioned it in the comments. I parked in Kansas City, Kansas, and I live in the Kansas City, Missouri is where I grew up and have been worked. And then Missouri and Kansas, just so everybody knows that. I bitch about that all the time. The Royals and the Chiefs are in Missouri, folks. But I started in Kansas, and it put me in a location where I found one of those things you can drive to where you can overlook areas. What's funny, if you look to the east, which Missouri is the east of Kansas, you can see up close and personal the Kansas City, Missouri skyline. You couldn't drive there, but you can see clear as day our what do you call those? The big exhibition hall or conference center, big conference center, and the big things that stick out of the top of them that show it's Kansas City. And it was just odd that you could see the beautiful downtown Kansas compared to KCK. I don't know how beautiful Kansas City, Missouri is, but compared to KCK didn't even have a skyline. But so yeah, it was kind of wild that you could see. And I tried to get over there, and the roads were all blocked. It wouldn't let you go over to Missouri. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I did notice we ended up buying garages both in the same Wichita.
I noticed that after I bought mine, and that was a smart move because Wichita is probably one of the biggest commerce towns in Kansas, I think, even more than the state capital.
Yeah.
It's got, I think Boeing even has a factory there. I know Cessna does. So I know it's a big a lot of aircraft manufacturing. And I think there's a lot of commerce in and out. And Kansas City, Kansas would be great, but you can't get any jobs running to the east.
Right. Yeah.
It is.
Everything would be south or west.
Yeah.
Can't go north or east because no Nebraska yet or Missouri. One thing I thought, and I saw a guy on Reddit was talking about the Kansas DLC, and I thought he summed it up nicely because anyone who's driven across Kansas knows what you're in for when you drive across Kansas. A whole lot of flat. I think you said in your video, you drive, you look around, it's flat, fields, all that stuff. You drive for 2 hours and you're in fields on flat ground. You know, it's Kansas is what, but I think they did a great job of, even though the maps are compressed, you get that feeling of being in Kansas because you do drive a lot of time in the game where you're driving on just flat land, pretty, but then you get into the towns and so it's a good mixture without having to drive, 2 days. But
I've been in a lot of those small towns in Kansas, and I'll tell you what, they're duplication because I've read where they send teams out and artists to look. And there was one town I've never been to, but I've been to towns like it that are not on the beaten path. They're not off of I-70, which basically is the only beaten path through the center of it. And the buildings, and it's kind of interesting how that same town we did a delivery in, you drive from the highway to a road through downtown, which downtown is nothing but a bunch of brick-based businesses, 2 stories tall and some square blocks, through a residential area, to real quick right into an industrial area, and then a rail yard. Because that's the 3 things you got. And you got interstate and rail yards in Kansas, and a lot of rail yards.
Yeah. But I think they did a great job with the DLC from what I've seen of it so far.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the whole state yet, but Kelly and I drove across Kansas several times when we moved from Arkansas to Colorado and then going back over to Arkansas. And so, and I'm looking forward to getting to Pittsburgh, not Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh! Yeah!
Pittsburgh, Kansas.
When's that coming? I'll watch that. Hello,
Just Kansas.
Pittsburgh. Thank you for your time. Sorry. I just woke up.
You talked about the landscape, though, driving across Kansas being boring. Drive across Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost the same way without the cool towns. I really hated Nebraska I took off and went north and then cut over to the Sturgis and over there on the motorcycle one time. Thought I'd always gone the Kansas route and up that way. Thought I'd go across Nebraska, and I thought, holy cow, when is this ever going to end?
Right. Yeah.
And then the only other place I'll say that I drove that was the same scenery for 2 hours and another 2 hours, same scene, is the Upper Peninsula. Have you ever been across the Upper Peninsula up there above the Great Lakes?
Oh,
The only
Yeah,
difference there is you're driving along and it's pine trees, 400-foot pine trees to the left, 400-foot pine trees to the right. Your nice, straight, beautiful blacktop road. The only difference is every place you pull in is a Winnebago with a bunch of mullet-wearing Canucks up there going, hey, man, want to have a Moosehead? Want to have a Moosehead beer? Hey, come on down to the campground and party with us.
Take
eh?
off, you hoser.
Yeah, hey, yeah. I mean, I never seen more Winnebagos with Moosehead beer cans rolling out of them and guys wearing mullets going, if you think rednecks are all in the southern United States, you are completely wrong. I've never seen more mullet-wearing rednecks in my life than I have up in the Upper Peninsula. And they're nice people, but they're rednecks.
nice. That's awesome. Oh. All right.
Well, what? This is a good sign, isn't it? We're all yawning and
Stop it. I don't want to yawn.
Yeah. Our
Okay,
show,
one
so
more
we can put
more
our
thing
guests
about-
to sleep.
one more thing about GameStop. No, just kidding.
Hey, we had the Atari rant last week, the GameStop rant this week. It's all right.
Well, at least we started on time. I mean, we started, like I said at the beginning, we started a few minutes late because we planned it. But and we'll plan on going back to 6 o'clock. But the last week, unbelievable. It was just so comical. If you could watch the show and do the live playback of well, you can't watch that part because we didn't get it. But the chat was going along. You guys were talking about stuff that pertained to what we were talking about, and we assumed we were live because it was just magic. And then somebody said, "What's wrong with you? Everything okay?" And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. What's wrong? We weren't even
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I think the best one was we were talking about the centipede and the whole you have to do a video. And Chaos was talking about that he played, but his video didn't work. And we're giving him shit. We're like, oh, if you didn't video. And then Chaos actually said, you don't have to believe me, but I swear it
Right.
happened. So we're like, he's responding to what we're saying.
It was like it was right on cue. So it's like we thought we were live. Chaos. It was the orbs telling you were connected to us somehow. Chaos.
Yeah.
It's like we're testicle twins or something.
But hey, let's give it up for Chaos because I see he's still in the chat. Chaos is one of our most probably been with us the longest. Has been the most. Not that everybody that shows up for Derek and all you guys show up for the
But we've known him for 2 years.
for a long time, and that's why I'm glad to see that. You know, he always gets worried about stuff, but he's in the playoffs, brother. He's in the playoffs. So I'm tickled. Go check out his channel. He has some good stuff. He has a good time. Chaos is fun.
And I want to know if he updated his Atari 50 yet. He came into my live stream the other day. Atari 50 had an update. They added 12 new games to it for free, the holiday update, and he was in my live stream the other day, and hopefully he updated that. Because bowling, Atari 2600 bowling was one of those, and that was one of his favorite games. So he said he was going to update it.
Oh, nice.
You know, something we need to do on a live stream sometime too. We ought to just set up the switches and do a night of. We need to get somebody like Kelly to come in and manage the chat and talk to us while we're talking or something. We'll find a way to communicate and get on Nintendo. I've been dying to get on. We've done the Oculus again, played the golf, which I've heard there's a new golf game out there. But I'd love to do that Nintendo Sports again. We did bowling, and we did one other. But I remember doing the bowling, and that was a ball. The four of us, I think all four of us bowled that time. That was a blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
I always wanted to get on and play that GoldenEye online, and we never got a chance to do that either. The old GoldenEye.
Oh, on the that's on the online service with Nintendo.
Yeah, the Nintendo 64 online.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff you can do with that online. You know, that online, I didn't realize that you can buy an online without the expansion pack, which is really a bargain. I went ahead and got the expansion pack mainly because I love the fact that they gave you all. I have all the courses now for Mario 8, all the DLC. So that's kind of. But I'm up to almost 1 terabyte. I do have a 1 terabyte SD card in that Switch now because I've been crazy putting games on that damn thing. There's a game for like $1 called Golf Guys. I'll check that out. Golf Guys. I'm going to write that down because I just bought one the other day, Chaos, for 99 cents. I think it was. It was called Christmas Races.
Christmas racist?
Yeah, racing. Yeah, racing. It's racing. Yeah, Christmas races. Christmas races. Yeah. That's the guy. I know him. Yeah, he's from the Upper Peninsula up there. Yeah. It's called Christmas Racing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you got a Christmas tree in the back of your truck, and it's bouncing around. You got to cross the finish line before this other guy. It's really corny, stupid, and addicting. I mean, for 99 cents, I was just sitting there and I kept messing it up. But matter of fact, I was doing that just before Bart came on to do the show with us here tonight, and I got to quit playing this. So, yep. Christmas races. The racing. That's it. Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas.
That's all I've got. Looks like we're at a lull, so let's go into final thoughts. Let's pass it straight down to Mike right now. Mike's there with his kitty, and he can...
Meow, Satan. That is cat's name?
All right. Pepper.
Pepper, okay.
Yeah, final thoughts. Well, was it? I think I'm trying to think what day it was. Like 2 days ago, I've been playing the new Call of Duty Warzone. So we got the new maps that got downloaded. So me and my brother played it, and it's kind of like, I don't know if anybody plays Call of Duty here, but it's like the old Verdansk map. And what's kind of interesting when I went to Hawaii for my father's funeral, my brother did ask me, he's like, hey, do you play any games? I said, yeah, I play Warzone, or not Warzone, but I did play the Call of Duty Modern Warfare games back during the 360 days. And then later on, when I got back here to the States, he actually invited me with his friends, and we got to play Warzone. That's how I got introduced to it. So yeah, like today, he just kind of messaged me like after church, and then he's like, you want to play? Let's do the new map. So me and him and his friend, we played the new map on it, and we were having a blast with that.
That's cool.
Yeah, really good game to play with family if your family's into shooters and stuff. So, and then the other thing I got going on, I'm working on. So last night I was playing Chrono Trigger, so that'll be the next video.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I need to beat that game first, and then I'll put a video about it. So right now I'm trying to capture a lot of footage, and I'm in the beginning, and it was kind of funny. Like I got to a certain part, I couldn't save it. I'm like, how do you save on this game? And then I figured out, well, you got to find the save point, or you can buy a tent, which could save your progress in that game. So I bought a tent, saved it, because my brother again messaged me. He's like, hey, we got to play Warzone. So I got in there with him to play it. But yeah, Chrono Trigger is awesome. I never got to finish it. I was a teenager back then when that game released, and I was starting to get into the CD-based games like was it PlayStation or Sega Saturn, whatever their first disc. And I kind of grown up on Super Nintendo, so I saw that like it looks good, but I'm more interested in these CD-based games. But yeah, looking back, I'm glad I'm playing it again. I'm like, oh, this game's so fun to play. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. But I do love the game. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, Derek. Yeah. Yeah, Chrono. But I never beat it, so I'm actually excited. Once I finish the game, I'm gonna beat the game, and and I also got I bought a strategy guide for it. The Nintendo strategy guide. I got that, and then had someone make the instruction booklet so I can put it in my game case because
cool.
the actual one is really expensive. So I just had someone make that so I could kind of read it. I did, prior to playing the game, I sat down, looked at the instruction booklet, and I read the whole thing, and it's like, wow, this really takes me back in the day when you got like a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo game. You read that instruction manual, so you know what to play. It was kind of cool. Once I read it, it gives you tips what to do, like in the fair, what you're supposed to do. And I never knew that because I remember borrowing it from a friend. He never lent me his instruction booklet, so I just kind of had to figure out what to do on the game and then played it from there. But if I would have had the instruction booklet, yeah, it really helps what to do on that game. But yeah, that's all I got for now on that.
Cool. Thank you, Mike. Well, Paula, we got about another hour. What do you got?
Oh, my arcade Atari Game Station Pro.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nice.
they messed up the pre-order. I got it late. Then it's been sitting here forever. So last weekend I started doing the unboxing portion, and I kept promising that I was going to hook the thing up. And I'm glad I waited now because Gen X grown-up gamer told everybody that there was an update to the firmware. So since he made that announcement, I think Friday, I included that in my video. So perfect timing for me. So I went ahead and shot pretty much the rest of the video over this weekend. I just have to do my wrap-up part of it, and hopefully I'll get that video edited and up tomorrow. Since I'm off tomorrow, I should have a little bit of time. But I did the update and everything, so I'm glad that happened because I get sloppy with updates. Usually once I have a system up and going, it's like, okay, we have this update. I'm just like, who cares? I'm not unhooking it to do the update again, if it's not something huge. But they added an update that you can actually make subfolders for the SD card when you're adding ROMs now. So it's not like everything, all the games, 9 billion, well, actually 10,000 games that you can add to the thing are going to be all just thrown in there where you're searching. At least there's subfolders that you could make for each system. It's going to be a lot easier to find the games. And I'm only adding Atari games to mine, and I did that for the video. So I have almost 1,000 Atari 2600 games. I threw the library in there. I threw homebrews in there, prototypes and stuff like that. I play a few of them in the video so that you can see them. Of course, I threw all the Activision games in there that people really want to play and not what's built into the game or into the system itself. I tell you how the joystick is on the thing. A lot of people complained about that. So I'll have that video out, and hopefully tomorrow I'm off. So if anybody wants to play some VR or wants to do the new mini golf or one of the old mini golfs, you can do that. Or maybe I'll just play some of the Arizona Sunshine 2 or something. I haven't played that yet. I bought that on the PlayStation, and been meaning I was going to play that today, and I didn't get around to it. So that's about it for Mike. I'll do the 2600 plus eventually. We'll get to that. And Ballistic did an interview with me for a holiday special coming up, and he should be getting his 2600 plus. It's in his town. He might have got it yesterday, or else he'll get it tomorrow, I think. So at least he's finally got that. But yeah, he did an interview with me yesterday, and now I got a message this morning. I didn't get to read through it. Retro Bliss, I think, was asking me to be on his podcast, I think Tuesday night. I'm not sure if I can make that, though, because he does that at 8 p.m., and I have work Wednesday morning, so I'll have to see if I can work that out. So.
Very good. I think all of you know that Ho is our specialist here and going out and making the circuit, doing the different shows across the country, and representing the show. And
well, it gets you out there, and it gets you like tens of thousands of subscribers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah. One of these days you'll be worldwide and you can get your grid contract.
it's worked wonders for me. I almost got, where am I at now?
If we just
I'm
had a picture of you and a thong on a beach, it'd be a shoe in.
At this rate, I should be monetized by the time I'm 106 years old.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Bart, are you playing golf tonight or?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything from the guys. Everyone's kind of busy with the holidays and stuff. I guess I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But
I'm not busy tomorrow. Well, I might be, but if you want to play some mini golf, that could be in our future.
yeah,
I've
that
got
sounds like a good
I
idea.
got 2 doctor's appointments in the morning. Well,
Cancel them.
one of them I've got set up, and the other one I got to do like a virtual call in, but it hasn't been confirmed. So I don't know. Waiting to hear.
Yeah.
But after that, if I get all that done, I'll be free in the afternoons.
Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, we can hit me up, Poe. We'll see if we can play some putt. But as far as the real golf, I'm not playing that tonight. I will be playing. See, I'm having issues with recording on the Quest. I recorded that playing the submarine game, the U-boat game with Jason, and it didn't get any of his voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Have you noticed they changed something? Did they change something when it did the update? Because I used to be able to hit that Oculus button twice and go into that verbal command, and I'd say record video, and it still does it, but it doesn't record the audio too. It used to always just record video, and now I have to hit camera, record video, and then I have to say include audio. And
Yeah.
and I hate being grouchy old Greg, but what kind of idiot sets it up where when you say you record video, you don't want the audio? Of course, you want the audio with it.
yeah, I never understood why that's a question. Do you want your audio? Yeah, I guess maybe some people just want to have gameplay and they don't want to be like, God damn it, what the fuck? But yeah, my problem is it's recording me, but not whoever I'm playing with. So you're only getting half. And one thing I noticed in that U-boat game, and I don't know if it's just something that was happening weird. If Jason and I were in a call together, we could hear each other. If we were just using the in-game audio, and it wasn't like, okay, I was at the front of the boat and he was at the back of the boat. We were standing right next to each other. We couldn't hear each other. So it's like we had to use the call, and then it only recorded my audio. So I'm like, I'm a little frustrated with trying to record on the Quest right now because that's 2 videos in a row where I had audio issues. But that U-boat game is a blast. It's really cool. Jason and I were figuring it out on the fly, and people that don't know, Jason was a submariner in the United States Navy. So we actually recorded 2 videos, and the first one got boogered up. So the second one I put up, even though the sound wasn't good. But at one point, we're standing in the bridge or whatever. I'm like, I guess we need to fire up the engines. And Jason, he was a nuke. He worked on the nuclear engine, the nuclear reactor on the boat. He goes, oh, engineering, that would be my department. And he took off to the back of the submarine. I'm like, yeah, you don't do that. So I guess some of the stuff translated because I went back to the engine room and he's like showing me, yeah, these are the gauges for this, and this is how you do that.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, so I'm going to play some of that this week. But as far as my, and if you guys get that, it would be great. You can play 4 players and you can all be in different, someone can be in the conning tower firing the torpedoes. Someone can be up in the torpedo room reloading them. Someone can be working the depth gauges.
I'll look into that.
All that and firing up.
Yeah.
Someone's in the back doing the engine, and then you start getting shelled, and you got to run around and try to stop the leaks. And yeah, but my actual final thought for this, and this is the end. My pinball, the thing, Pinball M. If you have Pinball M, it is 79UQ. That's 79 Uniform Quebec or whatever Greg would make up. Password is OGA. And Greg, when does your tournament end? You only did yours for 2 days, right?
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah, I think mine would be over.
Okay, because I was going to quick read off yours, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, I'd have to
you
go to
already-
our chat.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Almost. Here we go. D45U. That's Delta 45 uniform. This is Pinball FX, the Charlie Brown Christmas. You do that one first because it might be ending today. Password is GPV. G
Lowercase.
Parker, all
Lowercase.
lowercase. Yeah, GPV.
GPV.
And it looks like, let's see, it says starts now, 2 days, and you did that Friday evening. So Saturday, Sunday evening, about 8 p.m. So you might have 5 minutes. Go now. It's about we are literally probably within 15 or 20 minutes of when you started that and it being 2 days later. So, but yeah, jump in on the tournaments if you can get on Greg's. If you can't, screw it. Just get
I
on
do have a question since you're way more familiar with it than me, Bart. That
Sure.
Arizona Sunshine 2 was pretty pricey, even when I looked on Meta after I bought it on PlayStation. I expect things to be more expensive on PlayStation. Has there been any other games like that on Meta that were that expensive? Because it was, I think, $50 for the standard edition.
Yeah. I think wasn't Resident Evil, that one was up in the $50 range.
Oh, that might have been, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like most Quest games are somewhere in the $20 to $30 range is kind of a high dollar game. But there have been a couple that have been in that $50 range, but only a couple.
Yeah.
Many.
Now, I got the deluxe edition for the standard price PlayStation had on sale. When I saw it, of course, it was one of those things. They were like, you can get it for this price until this time on this day. Well, there was an hour left by the time I saw it. I'm like, oh, I got to get it. There's an hour left,
It's
Yeah.
almost the shit out of you.
I got to hurry up. So I did it, from work, which I probably wouldn't have done it if I was at home thinking about it, because I think they added like 3 things that are just like skin type of things that you don't need, for that deluxe edition. But I did it anyway, so I'll try it out and see how it is. And hopefully at one point there's a sale. And I did look it up on the Quest as well. I think the 4-player is just like a zombie horde mode, so you can have 3 buddies with you for that.
Yeah, same as the first one.
Yeah, and I think you can do the campaign. Is it the campaign with 2 players?
2 players. That's how the first one was.
So you can three buddies to your horror mode.
Yeah, for the horse,
to the whorehouse. And
the boat and hose.
Yeah, and I think the submarine game was $20, which is about average. And then of course, if you use my coupon code, you can get it for $15. Yeah, that game's pretty fun. I'm going to play with Jason again, but yeah, I'm tapped out this week because of all the pinball tables and the U-boat. I had pre-ordered that U-boat though, and I forgot. So I saw Beardo Benjo was playing it, and I'm like, "Holy shit, the U-boat's out! I'm going to go buy it."
Yeah.
And it's like, so I went to the app, and it's like in your library. I'm like, "Oh, apparently I already did buy it." That's right.
And that's what I forgot, because you even told us about the discount. And then I bought all the pinball tables, and then I freaked out and bought the Arizona game. And I'm like, I spent way too much. I'm going to get my butt kicked at home once she looks at the statement online. Because she's always like, what's this PlayStation? And what's this Atari? And what's it's hard to hide that kind of stuff.
Oh, you need to get a bank account in the Cayman Islands. That's what you need to do. Holy track. Yeah. I was just going to jump in and say I can sympathize with what you're talking about, because I did not buy we're buying so many. It's Christmas. We're buying all this, and I bought the Charlie Brown's Christmas, and I bought from that for the FX. I bought that table games pack because it was cheap.
Right.
But I just didn't buy the Star Trek ones, which I will buy. I'll end up getting them all. But I just thought, oh man, you got to pace yourself because you just bought. And I think last time I got on with the headset with you guys, I played the. I bought a new golf course, mini golf, and there's more out there. And the only thing I want to say real quick about that mini golf is I'll never play that upside down one again. That some bitch gave me a headache.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But I'm sorry, Bart. You're in the middle of your final thoughts, so I jumped in there. So go ahead.
No, I was actually done. I started off thinking I was just going to mention our tournaments, and then I got off on a tangent with the U-boat. But no, I'm good to go. That's all I'm saying. Get in those tournaments if you can. But Greg's is going to end in about 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, and don't forget, next week we will be announcing how those top players will be done going on forward. Make sure you catch that or catch the replay of that. And we'll just make it public knowledge. But please only play in the one that we tell you to. It'll either be Bart's or mine. And if you get in there, we're just not going to count your score and go on the show and humiliate you and make you look like the idiot that you would be for doing so. So that means that. And just remember, the grand prize for all this will be
$100 billion.
And Greg, if you haven't, I don't know if you commented or not, that new course is such a friggin' acid trip on Walkabout. I was blown away. Meow. Yeah.
What's it called?
What's that?
What's it called?
Yeah, Meow Wolf.
Meow Wolf. Okay.
This thing, and you can hear my reaction, and it was all 100% real. I'm looking at these dudes and things going on in this thing, and the one fat weird dude is eating an apple, and you can see his reflection in the water, and he bends over and he hands the apple to his reflection, and then the reflection takes a bite out of the apple and hands it back to him, and I'm just like, what the hell is this, dude? What are you doing? It's just like, this is freaking wild. Who made this? They have to have been stoned out of their minds whenever they made this thing. How do you come up with this stuff?
Chaos made the big time. Did he come up with this game?
Meow Wolf is based on a real place.
Yeah, well, the first trailer I watched on it, when I saw that it was out, I turned on my PS5 and it said Walkabout was updating. So I didn't know. And I'm like, if it's updating, there must be a new course. So I look it up and I see the guy that works at or runs the real place talking about it. So then I went and I looked up the trailer for it and I'm like, this is wild. I'm going to buy this course. So then I bought it and I'm like, I'm going to play this course. And of course it came out the same day as FX updated. Everything came out Thursday, right? So I'm spending money on everything. But yeah, I played the front nine in my video and it is just the most wild thing. You can hit your ball here and it teleports to here. You hit your ball into this thing and it turns into like a multi-golf ball. It spreads out everywhere. All of a sudden you have like 5 or 6 golf balls and stuff. It's weird. Really strange, but it's cool as hell.
There's one called the Mist. Something Mist. Have you tried that one?
Yeah, that's based on the old computer game, the Mist.
I ended up buying them all, but I know I haven't played them all yet. I tried to get them all in case I ever get to play with Bart. So I'm like, I want to have everything, get to play with Bart. So I bought them all on the PlayStation.
Here's the I just Googled Meow Wolf. It's in Santa Fe, the actual place. And here's their brief description. Visit Meow Wolf. Book your interdimensional journey for Meow Wolf Santa Fe. Discover immersive, psychedelic, mind-bending art.
So you're eating shrooms before you walk into the place.
Yeah.
You guys see the size of that chicken?
Where is it at? What state is it in?
It's in Santa Fe.
My butterfly.
Mexico. Is that a recreation state? Is that a recreation state?
Is it a record? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
But Travis and I played that Myst.
We're in the spirit world, asshole. The kids.
I love that part. That whole movie is great, right? I got to sit and watch that. We need to stream that one day. What was that app that you and Greg were back in the day on the Quest? You're like throwing popcorn and shit at Greg.
Oh, yeah,
and
big screen.
Can we do that? Can we watch Young Guns and Young Guns 2 on there together one day and stream it? We got to do that.
That would be hilarious.
If you want to look up,
I friggin' love those movies, man.
I'm going to leave this subject alone, but on the subject of movies, if you want to watch a movie, you guys Google it and then you decide. Look up Lady Ballers. So I'm going to say, look up Lady Ballers.
Ladies, it's not chicks with dicks, is it?
No.
Kind of.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Bart knows what I'm talking about. Yeah,
well.
it kinda is. I didn't think about that, Bart. Bart seems to be invested in knowing what I'm talking about. I found it to be a bunch of no-name actors. It was obviously they weren't no-name actors, but it was funny as hell.
I haven't. Did you see it then, Greg?
Have I seen it? Oh yeah.
You
Yeah, like
watched
I
it?
said, it's like Adam Sandler made good movies, and Adam Sandler made bad movies, and it's definitely acting wise, it's a bad Adam Sandler movie, but the plot and the premise is so it's one of those opinion things. To me, I enjoyed it. So yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, and if I have a chance to figure out where to share it with you, Bart, I'll get it for you. But it's evidently who produced it and everything, which I'll leave that to people to Google search.
I just watched a movie for no reason that my wife brought up last night that actually turned out to be really good. And it's called A Simple Plan, and I think it's pretty old. But it's got Billy Bob Thornton in it. And was it Bill Paxton? He passed away. Chet from Weird Science is the brother in it. And they find an airplane that went down in this reserve area, and they find a bunch of money in it and a dead pilot, and it's figure out that it's like bad money and they're going to hide this money. But that's all I'll say about it. It ended up being a really good movie. They hide this money.
What was the name?
A Simple Plan, I think it was the name.
Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. I remember that plot. Yes, excellent movie. Outstanding.
Yeah, I had never seen it before, but really, really good movie.
Welcome to the show, folks, where we talk about games and movies and all kinds of other crap. I'm going to say goodnight from here. I don't know. We'll sit around. Anyway, unless anybody's got anything else, I'm looking at the time. It's 8:12 and my head's about to hit the top of the desk.
I just want to throw in, you mentioned Bill Paxton as Chet in Weird Science, but man, his role in Aliens, when they're talking about they're not going to make this little girl's lasted 6 months. Why don't you put her in charge?
Such a good actor, I love the guy's acting. He was a good guy. Rest in peace.
He's passed away now, I think, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Was he the one in Twister?
Twister.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Twister. Is one of my all-time favorite. I don't know why. I just enjoy the story.
He was in True Lies, and Arnold's holding him up would a spy piss himself?
Great stuff.
Yeah, he was a great actor. Just a shame, but anyway, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, guys. Until next week, same bat time, same bat channel, same Mr. Miniature Stretch Armstrong coming to you. We're both having a fiction. I found that and I had to have it. Good night, everybody.